Okay. So I think you all can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see Mangala.
Can go into the presentation mode.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes. So give me a minute to arrange my desktop. Yes. So I think that you all are excited to start this new journey, starting with new degree program. And also we are also from the industry point of view, we are also super excited to see this degree program is starting, because as Dr. Madhura mentioned, that we have been working with OUSL to make sure that the curriculum point of view and also the right skills and right experience that you are getting through this degree program. And so we have been working very closely with OUSL, and now we are going to see the first set of batch who is going through the curriculum, which is created together with the industry. So if I start with the agenda today, I will first go through, give you a glimpse of the IT industry and also the employability skills that you need to have. And also I will talk about, what are the entry-level positions and jobs that we have within IT industry. Then Bani will talk about something called Future Careers Bridge. You will get to know more details, the practical tool that the SLASCOM has created to make sure the students get access to the tools created by the industry, so that you can try out those tools before you come to the industry. First of all, since we are representing SLASCOM, I'm not going to explain all in this slide, but if I tell a little bit about the SLASCOM, SLASCOM stands for Sri Lanka Association for Software and Services Companies. So we have more than 250 IT companies registered within the SLASCOM, and also we want to be the catalyst for the knowledge and innovation industry. So if you can see, the vision for SLASCOM is right now, if you take IT industry, which is number 5 in our industries, which brings foreign revenue to the country. But we want to make it number 1 in 2025, because we believe, with all the respect to all other industries like tourism and also the apparel and agriculture, we think that knowledge economy is also something well fitting into us because of the culture, and because every parent wants their the kids to get a degree and become professionals. So we think the knowledge economy is the right thing to focus on to develop this country. So we want to make this industry a $5 billion industry. Right now it's about 1.5 million, and then to do that, we wanted to have 200,000 highly skilled workforce in the industry. And then the third goal that we have is, we can't just rely on big the foreign direct investments, the companies coming from other countries and establishing here. We want to have startups within Sri Lanka. So we want to build the startup ecosystem with 1,000 startups. So this is our vision. And based on that, we are, myself and Bani, we are from the capacity development pillar of the SLASCOMs. That is why we are working together with the institutes to make sure that we not only getting the right quantity, but we are getting the right quality as well. So if I talk a little bit about the IT industry, I mean, these are the few companies, and basically these are the the big players when it comes to number of employees working. If I take the Virtusa, is still the largest IT company in Sri Lanka, and then IFS. Then we have, since I'm from IFS, I can tell you the numbers that we have more than 1,500 engineers working from Sri Lanka, and biggest R&Ds in Sri Lanka. And one is from London Stock Exchange, that is the third. And then we have WSO2, CalC, ISM APAC. There are so many big players in the industry. At the same time, there are so many other smaller companies. If you take the number, it is more than 600 IT companies that we have within IT industry. So this is the industry that you are going to enter if you do your education and whatever the things right. So if you take the IT workforce, you can see this is how the IT industry was growing. And when it comes to the statistics, we only have the statistic that we have collected in 2019. So the numbers are more than that. So we have, roughly more than 150,000 workforce within this industry. And this is exactly what Dr. Mangala Perera mentioned at the beginning. So this is based on the survey that we did in 2019. What you can see here is that in that particular year, what was the new demand for IT graduates, right? So again, when it comes to IT industry, it's not only ICT companies, there are some non-ICT companies also, those who want IT professionals like banks and so on. So when it comes to ICT companies, the demand was closer to 15,000. And when it comes to non-ICT companies, more than 4,000. Then government officers, they wanted to have 1,300 plus. And business process outsourcing companies like Dialogue and so on, they need to have more than 500. So altogether, the demand was in 2019, 21,000. So then the next graph, what you can see is the number of graduates came out in that particular year. So the blue means the state universities, red is for private universities, and IT major means those who you are doing IT degrees. Non-IT major means that they are doing IT as a subject with few other subjects. So altogether, the supply was around 9,000, and the gap was minus 12,000. So this is the gap that we have seen in that particular year. So I want to emphasize one thing, and it doesn't mean that that we will hire anyone who is having IT degree or anyone who is coming up with a paper qualification for any kind of IT diploma or degree. You need to have right skill set as well, because we can't really lower the bar just to get numbers. So that is why we as the industry, we are very focusing on to make sure we get right quality as well, not only the quantity. So then I will give you a little bit about details about the jobs that we have within the industry. So I know that, almost all of you know who is a software engineer, but I'll tell a little bit. And then a quality assurance engineer, systems engineers, and network engineers, business system analyst, and UI UX engineers, and DevOps engineers. Of course, there are so many other positions as well, like data scientists, AI engineers, and so on. But I only listed the jobs which have more the vacancies, and also more vacancies at the entry level. And talking about the software engineer is, if you join as a software engineer, you will be, designing, developing, maintaining, testing, and also evolving computer software based on, your knowledge, and applying your, the knowledge and skills. That's what you do. I think this is something very straightforward that you know about it. And quality assurance engineer is the person who is making sure that we release high quality products. So they make sure that that we release things without bugs, and because we want to detect bugs earlier before it reached the customer. So quality assurance engineers are primarily focusing on testing the system. It could be manual testing, it could be automated testing. So they are the people who even writing scripts to do tests automatically. Then the next position, the next job is business system analyst. And I normally, say that business system analyst is the someone who can talk both languages that customer can understand, and also the technical people can understand. So when I say both languages, it's not single or English. I'm talking about, they are the people who can understand the domain, the functionalities that customer needs, and then they can convert or translate it to the technical terms or technical jargons that software engineers can understand. So to join as a business system analyst is basically more functional job, rather than too technical the job. At the same time, you need to have other skills, like, you know, you need to have empathy to understand others, going into others people's shoes and understand what they really want. And also you need to have really good interpersonal skills and communication skills. So these are the other skills that we want, apart from you know, the, the technical and functional skills that you need to have. Then there's another trending job. Actually, UI means user interface and UX is user experience. So I know there are companies, those who are having, you know, same job for both the different types of jobs, but ideally these are two different types of jobs. So if I explain you what is a user interface designer, and so basically, if you take your phone and if you look at the screen, you can see that the colors, icons, and the fonts and all these graphical designs are basically done by user interface designers. But when it comes to user experience, it's not only, you know, it's not just in the IT industry, but if you do any kind of product development, it could be even manufacturing cars or even creating, you know, the mugs or whatever. So you need to have user experience engineers, those who can give the rich user experience for those who are using those products. I mean, if I take the cars for an example, you know that if you take latest cars, you don't use the key, right? And you have the key, but you don't have to unlock the door by taking the key. It's enough to have it in the pocket, and when you touch the door, you know, it unlocks. So that is the experience that user experience engineers are giving to the users. And if you get into the car and if it is dark and, you know, automatically lights gets on, and then if you reverse and if it was raining at that time, then you can see that, you know, the rear wiper get activated. I mean, that kind of experience is what the user experience engineers are, you know, trying to give for the customer. So they are basically working with interaction design, and also they do wireframing prototypes, and also they do a lot of user research to understand the users. So these are two different jobs, but in most companies we can see, like, you know, same engineer is doing both, but ideally these are two different jobs. Then we have systems engineers and network engineers as well. And sometimes in some companies, network engineers are also called systems engineers. But basically, network engineers are taking care of the computer network system. And systems engineer is, you know, someone who is managing complex systems. So sometimes starting from, you know, database administrations to the deploying things and taking care of the entire system. So that is what they are responsible for. Then DevOps engineer is also one of the trending and new jobs. At the same time, I want to tell you they are a bit expensive in the industry compared to software engineers. So if I tell you a little bit about what DevOps engineers are doing, I try to not to use technical jargons, assume that, you know, you are still you know, yet to enter to the industry, but sorry if I use any jargon that you can't understand, but I try to, you know, be very simple when I use those the words. If you take IT companies, and so basically if you take a team, those who are developing software, what they do is they write the code, and we call it committing instead of saving. So when they commit, basically they use they share the code base. And if you take day-to-day life at a, you know, software the development house, there are two parts. One is development side, the other side is operational side. So that is how that DevOps name came. So basically, if you take the way that companies were releasing products those days, like 10, 20 years ago, I think you can also remember, like, you know, if you take Windows, for an example, you get new operating system maybe every other year, right? But if you take today, you can see you get, you know, updates every month, every week, probably. So now organizations have moved from releasing, you know, once in a while to continuously releasing their products. Because of that, we need to do automated testing whenever the developer commit their code, and at the same time we need to build the code, we need to deploy the code, we need to monitor environments, we need to deploy the code in the test environment, run automatic testing during the night, and sometimes even at the time that user just the developer just commit the code. So this is a very, very important job in the industry, and they basically take care of continuous integration. Means the code that you save should integrate with the system, and also we need to continuously deliver, right? So CI/CD pipeline, what I mentioned in the slide, is called continuous integration and continuous delivery. So this is what these engineers are focusing on, and as I said, I mean, this is a very trending job, and also very demanding job as well. And now you heard about a lot of jobs. Now probably you might be thinking, what is the job that I should pick? And that is why I actually picked this one of the famous journalist quote, the find out what you like doing, and then let someone else to pay for it. And this is the best thing which can happen in your career, right? So then you can avoid, like, sometimes people are talking about Monday blues, like, oh, it's Monday and I want to go to the office, kind of, the sad feelings, to, oh, it is Friday, weekend is coming, kind of, the happy feeling. But if you find something that you really, really like to do and let someone else to pay for it, I mean, that is the best thing which can happen to you, right? So in your degree program, just make sure that you're picking the areas that you would like to do, rather than what your parents want you to do or someone else wants you to do. So the next thing is about the employability skills. So what sort of skills that you need to have? If I remind what I mentioned, whenever I mention about 12,000 capacity gap we have, it doesn't mean that we will hire anyone, but we can't really lower the bar. I don't think that any company in the IT industry will lower the bar just to get people in, but we need to have right people. So those are the employability skills that I'm going to talk now. First of all, I will start with the technical skills. I actually deliberately made this slide with all the the current tech stacks and technologies that we are from the industry are using, but don't afraid. I mean, we don't expect you to know everything. So I mean, whenever we hire undergraduates as interns, or the fresh graduates to the permanent positions, we regulate our expectation. We know what you can do, right? So you don't have to learn all these things, but my advice, and this is I'm advising you from a person from the industry. So these are the things that you need to do during your degree program in order to make sure that you have the right technical skills to the right level to enter to the industry. Number one is learn fundamentals. I mean, when I say learn fundamentals, you have all these fundamentals that we are going to cover, or USL is going to cover during the first 2 semesters, even during your the orientation program that we have. Few things in our future careers bridge, but we'll talk about it. So learn those fundamentals. So when I say fundamentals, I always want to emphasize, you don't have to have a 4-year degree learning all these theories for 4 years or during your first 3 years to enter to the university. I mean, the basic fundamentals, if you have basic fundamentals to the right level, that is enough. But make sure that you do your the initial courseworks and the initial assignments right, because you need those fundamentals to understand and build your the experience and all other skills on top of it. Then apply the things that you learn into a small project. So I mean, when I share the lot of technology stacks, you won't be able to touch all these stacks, but pick some. I mean, pick a database. It could be MySQL, it could be Postgres, it could be MongoDB, whatever. Pick a database and develop something small, and apply all the theories that you are learning, and that will help you to get some hands-on experience and also the skill. And then you know that you're not only know the fundamentals, but you have some tech stacks that you have some experience with some tech stacks, right? So this is the third thing that I want to mention. Know what you are talking about. Like if you go to an interview, it could be for an internship, it could be for a permanent position after the degree. They will ask you what you know. Normally what we do, I can give you little secret. Normally what we use, it's not really a secret, but a tip that we use during the interviews. We never talk about anything that you say that you don't know, because we know that talking about something that you don't know will not help us to evaluate you. So we will go into the discussion by asking what you know, what you have done. So if you learn some fundamentals, if you have applied them to even to a smaller projects, so that will really help us and help you to take a discussion about it. So then if you say that you know something, then you need to know it. I mean, just putting it into a CV doesn't work, because the interview panel will start to talk about it. Again, we know the expectation. We regulate our expectation based on whether you are a fresh graduate or you are an undergraduate, but we want you to do something. Then the fourth one is you need to stay tuned. I mean, it doesn't matter whatever the curriculum that you will be following. There is no curriculum in the world which can actually catch up with the changes in the industry. So things are changing every day, right? So don't just stick to what you only learn from the university. I think you need to start reading. The best thing is, I think you need to have your LinkedIn profile, connect to the people in the industry, follow the companies in the LinkedIn and also in the Twitter. Basically, IT companies you don't find in TikTok, right? It's in the Twitter and LinkedIn are the the social media that I can really recommend. So read about the stay tuned with what's really happening, and also try to go to the sites like it could be TechCrunch, those who talk about latest technology. So keep reading and stay tuned, because none of those, I mean, it doesn't matter whatever the degree you do, none of those curriculums can the keep up with the changes happening in the industry. So these are the four things that you need to focus on when it comes to technical skills. Then there are non-technical skills which are very, very, very important. So I mean, sometimes back we thought like software engineer or those who are in the IT industry, they are nerdy people. They just hide behind a computer and do the coding, but it doesn't work in that way. You need to have these soft skills or non-technical skills in order to get through and also to survive in the industry. Number one is communication. So when I say communication, doesn't mean that you need to speak like a native English speaker and you need to pronounce as the native English speaker, and you need to speak with correct grammar. But when I say communication, this means that you shouldn't be shy and shouldn't be able to talk in English and should be able to convey your message to the other person. So don't be shy, keep talking in English, and make sure that you give your full attention during the first 3 months during your, starting with the OUSL program. This is where that you will be working with English tutors, and you will go through the English, the curriculum, and also you put your personal effort as well, because communication is very, very, very important. Because if you join the industry, yeah, either you will be talking to the customer in English, or probably part of your team can be from another part of the world. So So every day you will be in daily stand-ups, you should be able to speak in English. As I said, I mean, most of the countries that we are working with, they are not, you don't find people, those who are speaking English as, native language. They also speak broken English, but what we want to tell you is like, the talk, and don't be shy, and make sure that you can convey your message. You can say what you want to say without diluting, without being shy. And the second one is teamwork. This is also very, very, very important, because this is something that you need to learn now when you are joining the industry. I know that our entire education system is very competitive, and you can survive alone, and you don't need to do any teamwork. Like, if you work hard, you can get marks, and it doesn't matter your best friend get failed, right? You get through. So those are the win-lose culture that you were in, I mean, before you join the industry. But when you join the industry, it's a win-win. I mean, it's not only you, it's about your team. And it's not only your team, it's about the organization. It's not about the organization, it's about the customer as well. We want everyone to win, right? So you need to work together, and none of the solo players will get positions in the industry. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you are a superstar. If you can't work in a team, you can't get into the industry. Even if you get into the industry, you can't survive. So you need to have those skills in you. And then the critical thinking and problem solving skills, because I want to welcome you to the industry where that you will find the new challenges, new problems every day, and new technologies and everything, like, so you, of course, you will get the fundamentals and the skills, but if you join the industry, every day it's a new day, and you are dealing with either developing something new, or looking into a problem which is new. I mean, this is same as, you will be working as a doctor, right? When doctor talks to the patient, they only hear about the symptoms, but doctor has to do the root cause, right? So you need to have critical thinking and all this, the analytical thinking, problem solving skills. So those are very important. Then the final one is self-management. And when I say self-management, it has a lot of areas. I think self-learning and learning fast, those are the things also part of it. I think that's the one thing I like, the way that OUSL arranged the program. You had to do a lot of self-learning, and you'll be doing Coursera courses and so many things that you need to do by yourself, which is very, very important to join the industry. And also time management and organizing yourself. And those are the sort of things that I can actually, prioritize when it comes to non-technical skills that you need to have to join the industry, and also to survive in the industry, and also to succeed in the industry. So don't take those things, easy. Don't think, I mean, just having, A+ or whatever the grades for those, the technical stuff that you learn can shape you up. These non-technical skills are also very important. Then finally, I will wind up with this. I will give the control to Vani by saying this. So sometimes I get calls, from my friends, if their kids, their children apply for positions, or sometimes even from the applicants asking, I have an interview next week or tomorrow. How can I prepare for the interview? So my answer is, I mean, if it is tomorrow or next week, only thing you can do is that, find a nice dress and have a haircut. And I mean, that's all you can do, right? I mean, the preparation should happen for years, right? So from the day one, this is why that we really like to, to talk to students from the day one, rather than waiting for, first couple of years, or rather than waiting for them to, come to a career fairs with the degree. I want to give you this message. When the opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare, right? You need to do the preparation from today, and don't wait until the next day before the interview, or next week, the previous day before the interview, or previous week before the interview. So prepare from today. And with that, I will give the control to Barney. And once Barney finish it, then we can take your Q&A session. Over to you, Barney.
Yeah, thank you, Mangala. Yeah, Raj. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Open University for partnering with the Capacity Forum, because what we are trying to do, especially with this batch, is to to create or help create a solution that will help reduce the gap that Mangala spoke about. If you listen to Mangala, he did talk about some of the gaps that we continue to see in the industry, and we believe we will continue to see because, as he mentioned, the industry is moving really fast because of the innovation, because of the disruption. What we need to do in the industry is ever evolving. That means everybody in the industry, all of us, have to be able to keep up. So it's not only what you learn, it is also the methodology and your attitude towards keeping up and the resilience that you bring to the industry that will actually make the difference between success and failure. Okay. My name is Bani Chandrasena. I work for the London Stock Exchange Group. I do diversity, inclusion, and well-being. And I'm also part of the Capacity Forum. And our objective in the Capacity Forum, like Mangala mentioned, is to come up with new solutions, different ways to try and widen the talent pool in Sri Lanka towards getting the right talent into the industry, the meeting the big demand of the industry that is forever growing. So let me try and see whether I can share my screen. Okay. Okay, so Mangala mentioned this Future Careers Bridge. You must have heard of it before. I hope you have, but if you haven't, what I'm going to try and do over the next 20 minutes is to try and help you understand what this is and how it's going to help you in your journey through your degree with the Open University. As Mangala mentioned, somebody's scribbling again. As Mangala mentioned, we are from the industry. So what we want to bring to this session is to try and give you as much understanding of what is needed, but also how you're going to get those skills that we think will actually help you succeed in the industry. So like we say here, Future Careers Bridge is your opportunity to start on your IT career while you study. In my personal opinion, the fact that you guys are studying and either working or trying to get this internship while you're studying is one step better than most of the other students in the country. In Sri Lanka, the general way of doing it is first you study and then you start working. In our industry, we believe doing both together in terms of while you're learning, you're contributing to projects, involved in other tasks, makes you more holistic, makes your learning more effective, and all of that does matter in how we operate in the IT industry. Okay, let's get started. So here, what we are trying to describe is a little bit about how this journey will go for you using this method that we are suggesting. So what you see here is Future Careers Bridge is the platform that I'm going to talk to you about. The platform has many aspects of learning, of evaluating your learning, capturing some of those practical learning assignments, etc. that is in there. There is a ranking. All of this, one, will help you learn, will teach you some of the skills that are required to succeed. And we will be using, we as in the IT industry will be using the output from Future Careers Bridge platform to identify high potential for internships in the industry. So what you see as marked as number 2 is basically while you're applying for internships, you will carry on with your study program, the degree program at the Open University. The expectation is that you will be doing both together. It is going to be a stretch, but that is the reality. So basically, once you take 4 years, go fast forward 4 years and think of a lot of the people who are in the industry, every day while they are doing full-time work, they are working on not only one project, many projects. They are learning new things every day, which they are learning by themselves. There could be group learnings also, but mostly by themselves, most often online learning. And that is the way of life in the IT industry. So what this whole program through your degree program is going to offer you is giving you a glimpse and giving you a taste of how the real world is going to work. And because of that, that was one of the main reasons we have signed up with the Open University, because we think that is the way of the future. And we'd like to collaborate and give you all as much opportunity, as much support as you go through these years of learning to help you be better set for the industry. Okay, so when we dive into the bridge program, I'll do a mini demo at the end also, just so that you are a little bit more familiar with the different aspects of it. One of the first things that you will need to focus on once you register is what we call the fundamentals track or the basic challenges track. What that track covers are fundamentals or what we call general IT literacy. It's a set of basic challenges to give you access to practical English, communication, and other professional skills, along with an intro to the technological world. Like Mangala mentioned, while technology is critical, that's kind of the air we breathe in the industry, that is always changing. So there is no one thing that you can learn and say, okay, now this is great, I don't have to worry about it. So what will hold you in the right stead to be able to succeed here is not being confident that, oh, I've learned what I need to learn, more that I'm curious, I'm ready to learn, and I will continuously learn. So that is kind of the model we have done Bridge with. In other words, when you go into the challenges, which is the bulk of Bridge, there will be many different challenges that you have to get involved in. What do I mean by these challenges? So when you click on challenges, what you will see first are these 14 basic challenges. These basic challenges fall into 3 categories. There are challenges that are about communication. There are challenges about practical language or English learning. There are challenges about what we call power skills or professional skills. There are challenges about tech. We believe all these 3 are equally important. So we actually measure and review you on all these 3 areas. So once you get into a challenge, there are 3 aspects that you need to be aware of and that you need to complete in order to finish one challenge or complete a challenge. The first one is there will be, so obviously when you go into a challenge, for example, when it's about, let's take one of these. Okay, let's take create a video and post it on YouTube. That's the topic. So you will have some tutorials about how you can create a video, how you can create a YouTube channel, how you can post a video on the YouTube channel. So that is what we call the learning element. There'll be links. Our expectation is you will click on the links and learn it. If you know how to do most of that stuff, that's great. But our expectation is if you don't know it, you will use those links, explore further, and figure it out. Step 2 is there will be an assignment that you have to do based on this whole creating a video and posting it on YouTube. Just for an example, it would be something like you have to create a video on a specific topic, or it might be flexible about what topic it is, and that you would have to post it. So that information would be a piece that you have to upload for us at the Capacity Forum to be able to have access to, because we want to see, now you learned about that topic, we want to see how you're going to put it into practical use. It's of no value to us if you think you know how to do a video and upload it into YouTube, unless you can practically, under pressure, be able to do that. So that is what is important, and that's what we're trying to measure. That's step 2. Step 3 is about us being able to test you, because we have something called a leaderboard. So the leaderboard is to help us navigate through all this talent that is signing up into Bridge. And this would be an MCQ set of questions. And depending on your answers, you will get on the leaderboard. We are all about continuous learning. We are all about persistence and you wanting to continue to learn. So we actually don't give you one chance. Somebody's scribbling again. I'm really curious after this to ask the question as to what those scribbles are about, if somebody can share with me at the end of the session. And so the third component is for us to understand in a quick glimpse whether you understood the assignment and what you have studied and learned. So these are the 3 components, and every one of these challenges has all these 3 components. What OUSL and SLASCOM have done collaboratively is we have put this as part of your learning when you are studying for the BSc at OUSL. Because we believe all of these components, there are a lot more challenges. There are 14 here. Then you go into advanced challenges, which has different career paths, which I'll get to in a minute. All of these, we believe, will help you, one, get into the habit, get into the rhythm of learning by yourself, realizing and understanding the learning so that you can actually use it. And then tests, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, which is a word I think all of you all have come from when it comes to all of our education, which is a component that helps us get you on the leaderboard. So the goal by doing these challenges is to get it done. You get an opportunity to repeat them if you think you could do better if you do it the second round, because we don't stop you in one go. This is not like a timed exam, but we do want you to do your very best. So if you think the first one didn't come out so well, you can go back and do the whole assignment again and upload it round 2, and the first one goes away. Why do we give that opportunity? Because what we want you to do is hold yourself to a standard, do the best you can, and if you feel like you can do better, we give you a chance to try again. And the goal we want to leave you with here is, when you're doing the challenges, do the best you can, work as hard as you can, put the effort, and try and get on the leaderboard. Now, the leaderboard, obviously, the ones with the better scores are going to get on top of the leaderboard, but as you do more and more challenges, the ones who do more challenges get on the leaderboard against the ones who are doing less. So it is not just the score that matters, it's the number of challenges that matter, and the effort you put into it. Sorry, where is it? It refuses to move. 1 minute. Bear with me. Sorry. Why does it not want to move? Just give me a minute.
What's the problem?
It's not moving to the next slide.
Maybe just unshare and share again.
Okay.
Sometimes it happens. And while Barney is getting the thing up, guys, when you are scribbling on the screen, you are disturbing everybody. You know, there are 500 people here. Don't be selfish, you know.
For me, it's distracting, so that's why I appreciate if you don't.
It is distracting to everybody. I mean, it's very selfish attitude.
Can you all see the screen?
Yeah, we can see. Right? We can see.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, so this is the next set of challenges, which we call the advanced challenges. So like the fundamentals are very much trying to get you familiar with working online, understanding what digital means, what IT literacy is, a little bit of an intro to what some of these technical sides are. What is Python? What is HackerRank? What is Stack Overflow? What is Java? Things like that would be all in the basic challenges. And as you move into the advanced challenges, you actually will start seeing different career tracks. The first career track we put together was software development. Like Mangala said, that is the largest bulk of talent that we're looking for in the industry. But within the industry, like Mangala mentioned, there are many different tracks. And a lot of these tracks, we are looking for university students or people with no experience, because your attitude and your passion and your interest towards these different tracks is what's going to make you succeed in these tracks. So there will be challenges that cover each of these tracks. These are all tools. These are all opportunities you have to actually learn more about the industry, to learn more about the jobs, and to prove to us that you are capable, you are interested. And this is the method that we are using in the IT industry to try and identify the high potential for the industry who come through these university degree programs. Here, just like the fundamentals, there will be leaderboards on the different tracks. And since this is going to be part of your learning, when you're doing the degree program, your tutors will also have access to this, and there will be more information about how you're doing on the leaderboard, how you're doing on the challenges, so that the tutors can actually have those conversations with you guys. And, we don't expect you to know everything. It's okay that you don't know, but the way the curriculum is built at OUSL, you have opportunities to come for group sessions within your tutor groups and be able to ask questions, share any knowledge. If things are difficult, find out how you can do things better. It might not be your tutor. You can reach out to Bridge itself. What we're looking for is somebody who is keen enough to want to do the best they can, and nothing stops them from getting there. That's the attitude you are looking for. And these are different ways for you to showcase that you are that person that we are looking for in the industry. These are some of the tracks that we are building. As I mentioned, software development is up and running when you go into the Bridge platform now. BPM, or the business processing management industry, which is a close parallel, or another industry that's very close to the software development industry, because there is a lot of similar work and shared work that happens between these two industries. There'll be a track explaining that a little bit more, and things that are really important to succeed in that industry. We have business analysis, which is talking about, again, I'm not going to go into depth here because Mangala mentioned, but there are nuances between these different tracks where the foundation is software, is ICT or computer science, but the roles you play in the company using that knowledge are very, very different. And sometimes what makes you successful in those roles is a combination of what you have learned, but more importantly, what you get excited about, your personality. And Bridge actually helps you kind of assess some of those aspects to try and see what would be the roles that you think you will be best at, you will enjoy the most. And that component about enjoyment is important. If you remember how Mangala finished his presentation, it's way better to try and focus on an area that you enjoy, because it becomes less work for you because you're enjoying it. And the way we work in the industry, sometimes there are no day and night. The work we end up having to do sometimes becomes continuous. It tends to be stretching your ability and resilience. So if it's something you love to do, we believe that you will enjoy it more and you will actually succeed at it, because it's not this industry is not a 9-to-5 industry for many reasons. It's the type of work we do. It's where our customers are, sometimes even our colleagues. I mean, we have teams where part of the team is in one country, the part of the team is in another country, the manager is in another country, the customer is in another country. So those are all the realities of what we do. So that is why we continuously repeat and, like a broken record, talk about the soft skills or the life skills that you need to be able to be confident about as much as the technical skills. So here's a list of other career paths that you're going to see on Bridge over the next months. The ones in green are the ones you'll see when you sign up immediately. Okay, so coming to the last bit of my presentation. Now, I spoke to you about Bridge. Mangala spoke to you about the industry and what the industry is looking for and why it is so important. I'm hoping this slide will help you understand how Bridge kind of helps you get some of those skills and knowledge that we are desperately in need of in the industry. Your personal confidence and your ability to be confident in any situation is very, very critical. A lot of the challenges that you're going to see have a lot of asking for your opinion, and we might be asking for that opinion in many forms. You might have to share a video, talking about what you've learned or what you're trying to share. It could be articles or essays that you have to write. Your opinion is important there. The takeaway here is your opinion is important. We just don't want to know what's in a book. We want to know what you're thinking, what you learned from something. And the second half that is as important is you can have an opinion, but you have to be able to communicate it. You have to be able to share it. And again, going back to what Mangala mentioned, communication doesn't mean the Queen's English. It means that you are passionate, you know what you believe in, and you are willing to find any which way to share that information with the audience. The learning experience that you're going to go through Bridge is far more important than just the outcome. And what I mean by the outcome is getting on the leaderboard, getting a good score on a challenge. As much as that is important, the experience of how you're going to actually get to that outcome is as important. And like Mangala mentioned, in places like interviews, in discussions that you're going to have with the industry, that is where you get to shine and show us your capability. That is how we assess your potential. Not on that certificate you got or the score you got, but how you got that score. Why, that was important. Why you agreed with some of those things that you read about. Why you disagreed with some of those things you read about. So that learning experience is important. In the Bridge, in the platform, in the different challenges, there will be opportunities for you to create blogs, share within other people's blogs. Those are all important, and those are all parts of how we try to monitor and try to get feedback from you when we get a chance to connect with you to try and understand whether you took full use of this tool and platform that we have provided. The OUSL Learning Scorecard is something that you're going to be introduced to as you get assigned tutors. Like we mentioned at the beginning, OUSL is about getting you to the end goal, getting you to your destination, but how you go about it is up to you. There are certain things that we're going to highlight saying are important, like discussion, like planning, like working together in projects. But nobody's going to hold a gun to your head, or nobody's going to hold your hand and pull you into these sessions. It's up to you to get to these sessions, because these have been built into your learning program, because it is valuable, and we believe that's how you're going to get better at the skills that are needed. The scorecard is going to be one of those mechanisms that the tutors are going to use, that they will share with OUSL as well as SLASCOM or the Capacity Forum, to help us understand how you have actually utilized all these learnings from Bridge, from the OUSL BSc curriculum, so that keep your eyes and ears open to what this scorecard is, which is going to come in the future. Understand why there is a scorecard, understand how you get yourself onto that scorecard. Working collaboratively, everybody's spoken about it, but realizing that working individually doesn't work, so there'll be lots of project work through your degree program. On Bridge, as you know, it's pretty individual because it's a self-learning module, but how we try to bring in the collaborative bit is, as you get to certain challenges, certain levels in the Bridge journey, we will invite you to different programs, industry programs, which we call Industry Connects, Career Days, etc. It might be virtual right now because of COVID, but you will get those invitations. Join those sessions, because there we try to make as many things collaborative and team-oriented, because we want to showcase and show you why it is so important. We give you an opportunity to look into how companies are working, the style of working, how collaboration happens, what is agile working. All those kinds of things are opportunities that you get. How you work with your tutors, how you work within your OUSL learning groups is also another way that we're going to measure your collaborative working style. So keep these things in mind. If you're naturally a person who works together, fabulous. If it is not, please take heed now, because we would like you to cultivate those skills, because that is how we help you succeed. And it might be harder work for somebody who hasn't worked in a team before, but this is your opportunity to get prepared. Again, referring to what Mangala said. Preparation towards the end goal is not something you can do overnight. It is not a test that you can pass. That is not the model that we are operating in. That is not the model for OUSL. That is not the model for the industry. So please use all these opportunities to try and get the maximum for yourself. A little bit about the tech. So you're going to come across a lot of applications, a lot of languages, learning about these languages, using these languages, writing lines of code, doing many projects using these different applications and learnings. And again, through Bridge, you're going to have to create some of these things. Like, I think one of the first things you would have to do is create an email account, which are easy things. Then there would be creating a blog. There's a HackerRank account, StackFlow. Some of these words I don't understand. I'm from the human resource department, but these are all ways that our recruiting managers who are looking for interns will be using to assess whether the candidates that they are meeting actually understand what they're doing and they have used the tools to improve themselves. So in a nutshell, we're hoping that you will understand that Bridge is there to support you. Bridge is there to help you get to your end goal, but making you realize that the end goal and how you get there is slightly different to maybe how you were taught in school. And our job here in the Capacity Forum is to create the path for all of you to join the industry. Like Mangala mentioned, the demand is there. Our job is to try and make sure that all of you meet that demand with the quality that we are requiring. And it's not that we want to make your lives harder, but this is the way this industry is going to survive and grow in Sri Lanka. And in order to grow in Sri Lanka, or for the industry to reach its goal, we need people who are in the industry to be able to adapt and evolve and innovate in this way. 2 minutes on some of the success stories that Bridge has brought to the industry through these interns. As you can see, you're going to, I don't know whether all of these companies are familiar to you, but you have a range of very large companies to startups to middle-level companies, because every company in the industry is always hiring interns. So the opportunities are there, but it's up to you to put in the hours, put in the effort in order to be eligible to actually be successful like these interns. This is just 2 minutes just to show you that there are public leaderboards, and there will be all kinds of leaderboards that the companies will have access to for us to navigate through and try and identify who the students are and their potential. This is the most basic leaderboard we have. It shows students registered, how many women have signed up, how many males have registered. It even identifies your hometown, because our goal in Capacity Forum is to try and make this accessible to every student, any person who wants to learn in Sri Lanka. To be fair, it's accessible around the world, but we are very keen to try and make sure that it is accessible to everybody in Sri Lanka. And one of the things that we've done here to try and make it accessible and inclusive is that while we do push everybody to learn English, and there's a lot of opportunity to improve your language through certain challenges, there are certain things that will explain part of it in Sinhala and Tamil, because we want you to understand it a little bit better, but everything will not be in all three languages. It might be just the intro that is in English and, in Sinhala and Tamil, because we need you to realize to succeed in these companies, you do need to get a little bit more confident with your English language. So most outputs we're looking for would need to be in English. Again, just a view of the leaderboard. This is a leaderboard that the companies would have access to with your names, with all your scores. There is a public leaderboard, even though I've said public here, which is wrong. In the public leaderboard, your names will not be shown. It will only be your bridge ID, and the bridge ID would be what you can use to review, to see your scores, etc. if you want. But just a reminder that as you do each, so once you register, you get an ID. As you do the challenges, you will continue to get your scores on email or SMS. But because you're a part of the OUSL program, when you're registering, one of the questions that you will be asked to register is whether you're an OUSL student. You need to tick that, because everybody who's part of the OUSL BSc program will have reports that go to the university, which gets broken down into the tutors. So in order for the program to track you, for the tutors to give you feedback and to continue to engage, you need to be visible. So please make sure that you tick that when you sign up. Okay, I'm just going to take 2 minutes to kind of give you just a quick view of what Bridge looks like. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. It's just to give you a color of it, that it is a live system. So this is the home page, the landing page. There are videos, that you can watch, like the video you watched today. There'll be new things that will be put in there as we go along. When you click register now, there'll be a series of questions that you have to answer that I talked about. Please make sure that you answer, especially the OUSL question, right, because that will kind of get you to this program. Challenges is what you need to click on, which kind of brings you to all these challenges that go continuously down. And then you get into the advanced challenges. Keep in mind, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, this visual could change, because there are going to be more career tracks and more information, like I mentioned, that I showed you before. But same concept, it's challenges. It has the same 3 components that I spoke to you about that you have to get yourself to complete to get on the leaderboard. That's the leaderboard. This is the public leaderboard versus companies will have access to a whole heap of other information. And in this case, there'll be companies, as you do certain challenges. You will get on certain company leaderboards also, but more importantly, right now the focus should be to get on the do as many challenges so that OUSL reports will show you in a positive light. I think that's it from me. Yeah, I think we're at time also, a little over, apologies. And I'll stop sharing so that if there are any questions, maybe a few minutes.
Ask, and Dr. Madhuraperu, maybe we can enable the chat as well so that they can ask questions.
Udita?
Yes, we'll do. We'll unmute participants also. Yeah, now participants can unmute themselves and I will enable chat also.
Also, remove the waiting room also. So guys, if anybody wants to ask a question, raise your hand or put it on the chat. Access me.
Okay, this
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Excuse me. Are there deadlines to complete these challenges, or throughout the degree program can we do these challenges and complete the project?
Dr. Udita, do you want to answer that?
Can you ask again, please?
Yeah, those who don't, can others mute themselves because we can't hear. Now I think everybody has unmuted. I didn't quite hear the question.
They wanted to know whether there is a specific timeline, deadline to do these challenges while they're doing the degree program.
Yes. Let me. We have a tentative timeline. These basic challenges we expect you to finish within the first 3 months. So that is before the end of September. So there would be a timeline and actually an activity schedule. So that will be shared with you. Let me show a part of the timeline. Okay. I hope you can see my screen.
Started, Dr.
Okay.
Come up, it started sharing. Okay, now we can see.
Yeah, Dr. Madhuraperu, there are people in the waiting room. Can you ask?
I'm admitting them.
Yeah, so if you can see now from tomorrow, not from tomorrow, most probably by Saturday, we will give you access to our learning management system. So basically your other courses, English and other, this e-field is for empowering for independent learning. Those courses would be enabled through the LMS. And there you can see, you can start. We have a recommended guideline from where to start and how to carry on. So you can start like that and then go through that until the sessions are there until end of September. So when there are programming challenges, we have given like 1 week, but for the first few, they are quite simple. You can start straight away and carry on them and complete them. So for the moment, probably by tomorrow or by Saturday, we will email you an activity schedule up to end of July. So please note that based on the pandemic situation in the country, and there are so many other factors affecting us also. So we are not being able to make a full time schedule. We will send you a tentative activity schedule until end of July to start it, and then we'll move on after that. So yeah, as I said, most of your announcements and everything would be done regarding the courses through the learning management system. And for that also, we will send you an email. Let me stop this and give you a glimpse of the glimpse of the learning management system.
Also, Udita, give me a second.
Yes.
These challenges, this is a rough guideline. So if you are good and you can do it in a shorter time, that's fine as well. It's just a guideline. We estimated the time taken to do each one. That is how we put those ones. And somebody asked the question whether there's a payment for career bridge program. Bani?
No, there is no.
No payment. You just go there and register. And whether it will have an impact on the BSc program as the curriculum, no. But I'm sure that you are doing the software engineering because you want to become a software engineer. So doing these challenges will get you a early start with the companies. You can do internships and get mentored by the companies. And also, that will almost, if you are a good person, you will almost secure your job there in the company, and you might even get paid internship allowance or something. And some companies, I think, are also willing to give scholarships for you to follow the program. They are all evaluated from the career challenges, right, Barney?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
I just said that if you do the challenges, there are a lot of opportunities for internship.
Yes.
That might give a allowance, and also some companies might even give a scholarship for you to follow the degree if you are have the right attitude.
So all internships that are being given for OUSL students will come through the Bridge leaderboard. So that is important if you're interested in an internship, and some of the other options you might get. We can't guarantee that things like scholarships will come for everybody, but yes, we have some of those success stories that I showed pictures of. Some people have got scholarships, and most companies, when it comes to internships, does pay an internship allowance.
Okay, there's one question. Somebody asked that he has already started the bid from BTA, whether they can put their names under OUSL. Is it possible? I don't know.
Okay, so there are two questions that I want to mention. I have typed in an email address because a couple of questions were that they had problems and they need help because of certain situations with Bridge. I've put an email address in the chat. Please use that email address to get in touch with Bridge in case you have any specific problems you want to get solved. When it comes to the question about the VTA that you mentioned, Dr. Ajit, so because OUSL is going to be tracking your progress in Bridge, we would need you to re-register as a OUSL student. But if you have done certain of those challenges, those you can upload directly so that you don't have to maybe do the challenges again, but you might have to do the MCQ questions. Those specific things are things maybe we can try and help you if you get in touch with us through bridge at /com.lk. I don't have the correct answers for that, but if you email us there, our team will be able to give you answers to some of those questions.
Right.
And also, Bani, there's
Thank you. Thank you, Bani. Mangala, if you can give me just 1 minute to explain this. So most probably by tomorrow or Saturday, you will get an email.
One moment. Now the guy who is writing on this, can you leave the thing because you are disturbing everybody?
Somebody started.
I feel like when Montessori.
If I find you, I'm going to remove you from the BSc program as well.
I feel like when Montessori.
Worse than Montessori.
So I just since everybody would be wondering about these groups and how they are coming into courses, I just wanted to show that we will be sending you this site is .openlearn.lk, this site name and access details. So you would be asked to log into this online class. So when you this help wanted help given forum is open for everybody, where you can post your queries regarding courses, and then once you come here, the first activity you would be doing is start at OUSL. So you have to go there, and then you can log in. Your login details will be sent. So that is the place where you will see how to group yourselves and other announcements, etc. So I will not go into that now, but as the way that you logged into the LMS to do the selection test. So like that, you can log into the this LMS site is .openlearn.lk, and then you will be guided through these activities. So as you see, there would be announcements, you have to go there and select your group, from which group you are, like that. For this, you would be invited, say within next 2 days. So I will stop at that, and then we can go back to ICT challenges.
No, what I was telling, Bani, I think there are a few questions about the user ID, login, and so on. Maybe I can answer. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So when it comes to Bridge students, it's a free platform for anyone. Like anyone can do the Bridge challenges. And when you register, you get an ID. You need to mention that ID when you submit the challenges, right, Bani? Am I?
That's correct.
Yes. So basically, anyone can play around with all the challenges, but you need to register to submit the challenges, submit your assignments and so on. So mention the registration ID that you get when you register, when you submit.
Just one more thing to be mindful of. There are a couple of questions. Please read the questions and answer accurately, because it
Sorry. Bani, you got muted. Sorry, Bani, excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, let me explain again. Yeah. As you register, there are a couple of questions. Please pay attention and answer those questions correctly. For example, there's a question about whether you're looking for a job or whether you just want to study. Please answer that you're looking for a job, because if you don't answer that accurately, you will not come on the company leaderboards. So like that, there are more questions, or whether you're studying with OUSL is another question. There aren't many. There are about 5 or 6 questions. Please take the time to read it properly and answer it accurately, because these will have an impact on where your results and your names are going to show up. So take this as, attention to detail. You do need to follow these things accurately and fill it as the first step towards getting your career on track. They're asking questions about how to create blogs, etc. Please go learn about blogs. Titles, it's up to you. You have an opinion, you have a passion, put it in there. There are instructions, follow those instructions, please. One thing I would advise, if things are not clear, the idea is not to stop. The idea is, if it's not clear, understand something, just get something done. Don't leave it blank. Leaving something because you're not sure of it, oh no, I'll wait till somebody else does it, is not the answer. Move forward and get the experience. Even if you get it wrong, do it. Like Nike says, just do it.
Yes, you can even go now and register. There are a few students who said they registered just now. Yeah.
Great. And a lot of students seem to, I'm really happy to see that students have already started doing challenges. Great. Some of the answers I put in there is, they said they already have HackerRank accounts. blogs, whether they can use those as uploads for the assignments, you can. That's fine. But just make sure the assignments, if they have asked some specific work that you have to do, make sure you get that work done also when you upload these existing accounts, because we will be assessing, one, whether you know how to use these different accounts and applications, but also whether you are answering the question. So both are important.
And I think for future careers bridge, nobody will be sending user IDs and passwords. You have to go there and get yourself registered.
That's correct. When you register, they will ask for your email address and a phone number. You will get that bridge ID to those your accounts. So the bridge ID will come back to you, and you have to safeguard that. Nobody's going to do that for you.
And also you have to mention that you are your USL student, right?
Yes. Please repeat. That is really important, because if not, you'll be on bridge, but you won't be in the OUSL program.
And this recording will be available. There is a YouTube channel specifically for BSc. So that link we will be sending to you. So all these sessions all these sessions are recorded, and they will be on that YouTube channel in the from the Open University website. So you can watch the recording, not tomorrow, just wait about 2-3 days, it will be there.
Vani, some of them, they have already registered without mentioning they are from OUSL. How do we fix it? Can we?
They have to go back and register and mention OUSL. That's the only way I know at this particular point. Because we won't be able to filter through. It's going to be tough to try and identify who they are, because we have more than 10,000 students who have already registered.
Can we take, yeah. You can unmute yourself and ask, maybe there's five more minutes.
Sorry, those who are asking question about the challenges you are not shown on the leaderboard, etc. Please write to that email address that Ms. Bani, if you can put it again.
I just did.
Yeah. Have seen it. So write to that email address, and they will help you to do whatever you need to do.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have questions, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Regarding the future career bridge for the internship purposes and quick employability, so what's the deadline we have to finish as much as possible accurately? Is there any certain deadline to get a internship?
Bani or Mangala, you want to take that?
So Dr. Udita will talk about, as part of the program, there is a timeline that Dr. Udita just mentioned and shared with you. For when it comes to the internships, we want you to do all the challenges.
So that's why I can't keep the participant unmuted. So let them type in chat. So only the co-host can unmute themselves.
Let me try to answer the question that was the question. I got totally distracted.
No, there is a timeline. As I said, within the first 3 months, we expect you to finish the basic 14 ICT challenges. Those who finish it quickly, then there are 15 advanced ICT challenges also. So you may go on to do that. That's a challenge for you. But definitely the 14 basic challenges you have to do before end of September. And we are giving you a rough guideline on what are the dates that maybe you can start on each. That is just to guide you or to help you. But if you are able to do everything within 4 weeks, so you are welcome to do. Otherwise, you can spread it out until end of September.
Dr. Udita, lots of people
Yes.
are asking about this. They have signed up before. Maybe they have signed up without OUSL, etc. What I think I will try to do is we will try and get a list of all the names of people who have signed up as OUSL students as soon as possible. I'm going to say within the next week. And maybe we can upload that in your portal so that people can go and see whether they are already registered as OUSL students. If not, for them to actually go and re-register as OUSL students.
Right.
So I will take that away and send it to you, to the university, of the list we have from the back end of so far everybody who's an OUSL student.
Right. Okay. And OUSL ID or the registration number will be given to you when you complete your registration. You have to upload your educational qualification, and at the centers they will be checking your original certificates and confirming. So for that you have to wait, and there would be a official email address given to all OUSL students by the university that will be also sent to you within about a week. So the official communication from the OUSL would be forwarded to that email afterwards. After that official email address is made, it may take about few more days, maybe a week. There. So in fact, so it is the first installment that you have to pay at the beginning, and during the ad drop time of after three months, you will be asked to pay the second installment. So those who are asking about payments, and please note, you can't say this is a part-time course because there are a lot of work. Only thing is you can work in your own time. It could be the night or daytime, but if you take the full credit load of one semester, then there would be enough work for a full-time study.
Okay, so there are a whole heap of questions, Dr. Udita. I have put the bridge link also in case people
yes,
are struggling, but also a doctor will put that on their portal. There is something about arranging it in Tamil medium, which is not something we can do because the program is actually in English, the OUSL program, and the support that Bridge is giving is also in English. So I'm sorry, we can't do a Tamil medium session here.
Right. So maybe we can wind up today's session, and we will be having more sessions with the students to from the next week onwards, and you can await for the other communication to come, like the email address, the registration number, how to join to the online class, and then how to group yourself, and the activity schedule. All these things would be emailed to you. So if anybody, I mean those people who saw my timeline, you would see from next Saturday, we are starting some other sessions. So I think it's 7:30 now, and thank you very much, Mangala, and thank you very much, Bani, from representing SLASCOM from the SLASCOM Capacity Forum, spending your busy time, I mean, getting time off your busy schedules and spending this time with us. So we'll conclude today's session, and let me Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Ika.
you very much.
And good luck, everyone. And yeah, good luck for your exciting future.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us, and hope to see you all more and more through the sessions, because we'll be involved as we do more events for all of you all as you progress on Bridge.
Right. Okay. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.